Welcome. I am D. Ananda Kumar, Assistant Professor, KIT Kalangar Karunanidhi Institute of Technology, Coimbatore. Today I am going to present a topic on PHP. We will cover the short history of PHP, what is parsing, what are all the variables, arrays, operators, functions, control structures and external data files. So actually PHP is a server-side scripting system. It stands for Hypertext Preprocessor. It is based on Perl, Java and C. It is very good for creating dynamic content. Rasmus Lerdoff, he is the person who developed PHP. So it starts from 1994 and in 1997 he released PHP 3.0 and it was rewritten by Zend. Now the current version is 5. Zend. It is a commercial enterprise. It provides Zend engine for PHP for free. They provide other products and services for a fee, server-side caching and other optimization, encoding in Zend's intermediate format to protect source code, IDE, a developer's package with tools to make life easier, support and training services. So Zend's website is a great resource. Zend engine as parser, SAPI, is a web server abstraction layer PHP component now self-contained, that is ODBC, Java, LDAP. This structure is a good general design for software. You can have a look on the architecture here given. So how a PHP script looks. Here we see the PHP file will be saved with the extension PHP. The program will be started with the tag like this, angle brace and a question mark with PHP, and the end tag will be question mark and the another angle brace. PHP command can make up an entire file or can be contained in HTML. This is a choice. Program line ends in semicolon or you get an error. Server recognizes embedded script and execute. Result is passed to browser. Source isn't visible. Why? Because source file is only, since it is a server-side scripting, the source code will be in the server and the result only will be sent to the browser. Here there is an example of PHP. There is a variable called myvar which is assigned a sentence hello world, and here to print a statement we will use echo command. So my variable is being printed, so the output will be hello world. Parsing. We'll talk about how the browser can read text file and process it. That's a basic parsing method. Parsing involves acting on relevant portion of a file and ignoring others. Browsers parse web pages as they load. Web servers with server-side technologies like PHP parse web page as they are being passed out to the browser. Parsing does not represent work, so there is a cost. Two ways. You can embed sections of PHP inside HTML. So this is HTML. Inside these two lines represents the PHP code. You can call HTML from PHP also. What do we know already? Much of what we learned about JavaScript holds true in PHP, but not all, and other languages as well. So here there is a code BIL this is assigned to the variable name. So directly a string or a sentence can be echoed. So if the variable name contains bill, this if statement returns true and the following line will be printed. Next is variable. Typed by context, but one can force type, so it's loose. So we no need to mention any data types before any variable. The PHP variable automatically understands by the assignment of the value. The value may be a integer, a boolean, a character, a string. The PHP variable will understand. So here they have given an example of Bob, which is assigned to the variable foo. So it is a string which has been assigned to the variable, but we didn't mention any data type called string. So if we want to assign an address to the variable, address of another variable to the variable, we will use ampersand symbol. This is called assigned by reference. PHP info function shows the PHP environment. Use this to read systems and server variables settings stored in PHP ini version and module. Notice that many of these data are in arrays. This is the first script you should write. Variables. Using the value of a variable as the name of a second variable. So we will assign like this. Operators. As usual, we will see in the other languages, arithmetic operators, assignment operators, bitwise operators, and comparison operators. These operators are very much useful in our coding. Coercion. Just like JavaScript, PHP is usually typed. Coercion occurs the same way. If you concatenate a number and string, the number becomes string. Operators. Error control, we will use @ when this precedes a command. Errors generate are ignored. Execution is similar to the shell execution function. You can pass a string to the shell for execution. Incrementing and decrementing, as usual in the other languages which already we have seen, we have post increment decrement, post and pre decrement. Son of the valley of operators. Logical operators like AND, OR, XOR, we will use NOT and OR. The two AND and ORs have different precedence rules. AND and OR are lower precedence than AND and OR. Use parentheses to resolve precedence problem to be clearer. Control structures. Wide variety available: if, else, else if, while, do while, for each, break, continue, switch, require, include, require once, include once. Especially in the for statement, as not there in other language, we have to print an array or use the arrays. We will use for each. So the entire content of the array can be printed, or anything we can do for the array by using for each without specifying any conditions. Break, continue, switch, these are already we have seen in the other languages like C, C++. Mostly parallel to what we have covered already in JavaScript. If, else, while, for each, break and continue are very important. Switch we have seen is very useful. These are to do the same thing. So if by using if and else if, we have constructed this code, and by making use of switch we have made, but both of the things will do the same thing. Nesting files. Require, include once, require once are used to bring in an external file. This lets you use the same chunk of codes in a number of pages or read other kinds of files into your program. Be very careful of using these anywhere close to user input. If a hacker can specify the file to be included, that file will execute within your script with whatever rights your script has. Yes, Virginia remote file can be specified. For an example, a dynamic table. I hate writing HTML tables. You can build one in PHP. This example uses pictures and build a table with picture in one column and caption in another. The caption are drawn from the text files. I am using tables, but you could use CSS for placement easily. Array. You can create an array with the array function or use the exploit function. Here there is an example. Array function is used to assign the values to the array variable. There are three formats. Explode function also you can use, or you can give the codes, or you can use the function called array. It is an array is simply a variable representing a keyed list. A list of values or variable. If a variable, that var can be also be an array. Each variable in the list has key. Key can be a number or a text label. Array or lists are list of lists or list of lists of lists. You get the idea. Array can be multidimensional. Text versus keys. Text keys work like number keys. You assign and call them the same way, except you have to assign the label to the value or variables. Walking arrays. Use a loop, example a for each loop, to walk through the array as given here. Here we will use as keyword array in PHP. You can walk through echo or print line by line. You can use print R. This will show you the structure of the complex array. Multidimensional array we can use in this way. Getting data into an array by using the explode function. These are the array related functions. Standard data files.